Hello everyone, Dantes with another video of Bygone progression. Today we're gonna cover levels of 141 to 145. This video will not contain lizards, which is basically I had very smooth progress and had no problem clearing the waves. If you've got any question towards progressing or need tips how to progress or tips for how to deal with many waves, or you're stuck on many wave, feel free to ask in the comments below. I will help you to best my ability. So, wave 241. Very simple wave. Basically, we got only one Mauler. No, sorry, we got two Maulers. But doesn't make a difference. Since this way is very simplistic, you have two choices. You either focus them next to the guy who throws the rocks at you, or you ignore him and kill him with AoE. Option number first, which basically you focus them altogether, is the safest option, because if you have lack of gear skill like I do, you will have problems with damage, because whenever he throws a rock at you, take damage to you that basically ignite and can be kinda troublesome. But since there's only 2 hours left, there's nothing to worry about, because their attacks are very slow and easy to trigger a dodge mechanic that basically stops the time. As you can see, slow animations equals a time stop, and since I got actually a Nemesis buff here, I will have the easiest 5 rounds of my life, because if I get like Samir weapon, this would be like no different than my other videos where I struggle, because let's be honest, compared to Nemesis, Samir does like no damage. Like I literally regret leveling her up twice with gold and ignoring Crow, because with the Crow I would have literally easy wave and easy time right now. But well, mistakes were made. I'm stuck with Samir, and let's see how far I can get before I get actually really stuck. Because if I get a Samir buff, that's actually like no buff to me at all, because Samir doesn't do damage. Anyway, this wave is pretty much done. Just gonna finish this guy in a second. And let's move on to the next one. So, on wave 242, this wave is kinda a bit annoying, unless you're gonna focus 2 scorpions, the predators, first, and you can distribute alone. So, the reason because it can be annoying, because those scorpions in the back and one on the left have 2 abilities. One that can AoE stun you, basically they're gonna kinda blind you, and second, they can actually freeze you. But if you're gonna focus them together, like I do here, and break the shields at the same time, and keep them close, you can actually deal with this wave very easily, because as you can see, I'm using right now piercing damage of the Nemesis gun to make enemies come to me. So that means I don't have to actually jump on them and with Samir, and I actually keep them a long enough time so they got a lot of damage from the Magnetic Tornado relic, which hits like a truck, because I'm a volt damage build, which means I scale damage of the tornado as well, I think. And yeah, with that tornado trick and slow and make enemies come to me, basically the annoying Predator / Scorpions are nearly done with, and also half HP of the robot is also gone. And I'm gonna first enemies come to me, because that is way easier to manipulate the fight towards your own benefit. Because with the Nemesis you can throw alone enemies, which helps by a lot, and as you know, Nemesis gear again pierces in certain range, and as you can see, I just killed easily the guy in the back, and that's only one more left. And this guy has kind of strong shield, but if you got like even King Bone or even Huma or any other shield breaker, you have no problem killing that shield like about 2-3 seconds. And now basically just focus him, and as you can see, if I even do my attack above him, the HP don't actually move that much compared to my shots from Nemesis. And that's another example of how basically Nemesis is bad in this game. But I think that's about it for this wave, and let's move on to the next one. 243. Another easy wave, 2 Maulers and guy who's throwing the rock. So, as previously stated, there's not much actually to say here, because, well, it's pretty straightforward. You either attack the guy in the back and keep the Maulers together, or you basically ignore him and kill him with AoE. And yeah, pretty much that's what I should say. So I'm not gonna say anything during this wave, just enjoy the combat and see you on the next one, because this is basically a repetition of my first wave, so enjoy the combat. Oh, the duplicate of the wave is over, and we are now on to 244. So you've noticed that this wave finally is different. So you focus the guy basically with the sword, because while he doesn't have health, he can get stuck like berserkers or samurais. So if he's far away, just move to him and make enemies come to you. Then you can basically break their shields together. And when I actually say that break their shields together, make sure whenever you actually do that, you actually break all of them together, especially if you like, use a flame weapon, because flame weapons like to leave ignite afterwards. So that's kind of helpful, especially King. Like also with Robarsec, that ignite it's kind of doing a lot of damage. As you can see, the ticks like 18k to even if the ticks can crit to like almost 30k damage. That's insane helpful. But anyway, as usually, I pop my tornado and try to enemies I try to make enemies come to me, and I trigger also slow, so they get damage longer. But sadly, at this point I made a mistake because I didn't actually break the shields in enough time, and they trigger it during the tornado, and I did full damage. But doesn't matter because I got still plenty, because this bonus round is Nemesis, which means I do insane amount of damage with that gun. Compared to Samir, which is like negative damage, but it is what it is. Yeah, so shields broken. Now firing my big gun Nemesis and making enemies in a line, so that means my damage is piercing all behind them. I mean, it's not like entire map, but it's like in certain range, so it damages more than enemy at a time. Now back to shield, my weapon charge is ready, even though I'm far away. King has a big AoE that basically spawns the sights that basically damage over time. I mean, it does still kinda make a mistake, but if I didn't trigger a second here with perfect dodge, because they will actually have a bit of shield, but no big deal, I managed to recover. Even though I'm far away, I focus the guy who has most health and will be more troublesome, which is a Tyrant compared to Abberanths. Now I'm gonna basically move in position to pull them enemies together to me, so I can slow them and drop AoE, which basically backfire on me because I should use a king weapon here. But well, another mistake, but no big deal, because with Nemesis gun that basically carries me, I'm basically feeling very confident that even those remaining 20 seconds I can finish this wave. So she's broken. Now back to basic Nemesis gun. Let me back together, slow and easy finish off with Nemesis. And for the final boss, 245. Very easy wave, Minotaur, the simplest boss in the entire game. Like literally, there is no easier boss in the game than him. Truly, like he has no annoying attacks like makes him dash long distances like Lucia/Sweetie or Frostbot, which makes him easy to manage, keep in place. Then he has no attacks that basically can CC you, I think, because as like Commander Habaka, he has no AoE attacks like Commandotron, has no annoying little dashes or range attacks like Freak or Aegis that can basically trigger instantly. His all attacks are very slow, which means whenever you encounter this, failing him is near impossible, let's be honest. Like, this is by far the easiest boss of entire game, especially on Bygone, which basically scales HP of enemies and damage kinda ridiculously. So as a free-to-play player, basically we can struggle, but not with this boss. He's very simple. If you're lacking some damage, you can easily improve that with basically triggering time stop every cooldown, which can improve your damage. And that can be basically very important in that case. But other than that, if you got enough damage, this basically you can just sit back and enjoy easy wave, and you just be mentally prepared that next wave can be actually lizards, which basically is the worst you can encounter here. But as for now, Minotaur, the best free-to-player boss that we can encounter. Like, even his shield is very weak compared to any other bosses. Like, 1 my skill and like what 5 more hits is basically breaking the shield. And I don't have a 5-star king, so I don't have like the crazy boost of the shield breaking. And easy. Remember just always to mount the boss for extra damage, because this is more than you probably can deal per second, at least with the current gear. Probably late in the game, probably it's not gonna be war, but maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not. Anyway, I love Minotaur, wishing him this boss fight. And just so you know, if I had, once again, I'm gonna mention it, if this was boosted Samir gun damage, I would have not so much fast clears on enemies here and had no easy time, because Nemesis deals way more damage than Minotaur. Anyway, GG for this wave. Let's move on to gear, which was actually not changed since my previous video and will not change until 250 wave, because I made a one big clear spree until that level. So enjoy the rest of the footage, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and once again, thank you for watching. See you on the next video tomorrow.